Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi WordPress theme tutorial. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we're continuing our little theme of the Divi Carousel plugin here. And today we're going to put together this full width icon carousel. Great way of advertising your services or whatever you want to advertise. Very striking. It's going to get people looking at it, and it's pretty practical as well with these call to action buttons that will take you wherever you want people to go. So let's go ahead and get started. As I said, I'm using the Divi theme here. I'm going to enable the visual builder. That will allow us to build on the front end. Okay, now our builder's loaded. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to get rid of this whole section and we'll recreate it. Let's go up to the trash icon, get rid of it, and let's get rid of this one below too. Okay, so we're left with a blank canvas here. I'm going to insert a row, single column. There it is. And as soon as you put a row in there, it's going to prompt you to put a module inside that row to start building. Divi by default comes with all of these light grey ones with the blue icon as standard. The Divi Carousel is a third-party one. That's what we're going to be using today to build our carousel. I'll put the link to that plugin below this video. And also Divi Product Carousel is the third party. All these other light grey ones come as standard with Divi, so there's plenty to be going on with. These purple ones are Divi Supreme. That's another third-party module, but you've got more standard Divi modules here. If you're building any sort of WordPress site at all, I do suggest you check out Divi. It's an absolutely awesome theme for just about anything. Keeps getting better and better with more and more features. And if you want to take it for a test run, you can do so from my affiliate link below this video. So let's add our Divi Carousel module. There it is right there. Just click on it. And the first thing we're going to want to do is add a new item. So let's click the add new item. We'll give it a title. And a subtitle. Whatever you want to say. I'm not going to put any text in there. You can put text, images, anything that you want to put in there, just like any other text section, but I'm not going to put anything there today. As you can see, it's put in our title and subtitle up there. Let's go down a little bit. I don't want the title and image to actually link anything to anything at the moment. I will do in a little while though. So image settings, I'm going to click the little button that says use icon. Alright, and for our services, let's choose an icon. Divi comes with Elegance Themes icons as default, and you've got all these wonderful icons here. Let's find something like that. Perfect. There we go. As you can see, it's put the icon in there, the title and the subtitle. So we're going to need to design it a little bit. First thing I want to do is pull those central and probably give them a bit of space. And I actually want to make these light in color and give our section a dark background. So before we go any further, because if I make these white now, you won't see them on this white background, I'm going to go ahead and put my sort of dark background in our section here. So I'm going to save this, check the mark, check again, and I'm going to go up to my section, hit the little cog, background. I'm going to put a background color of black in there. As you can see, it's kind of made that disappear, but I'm going to sort of blend it with a picture or an image. So let's add a background image. Now I want something that's going to look good, quite dark, and I'm going to mix it with our black background we got there. So I think before I use that one, should use a different one this time. Let's use, say, this one. I don't know if that will make any difference or not. So as you can see, we've got our image behind there, but we can't see our sort of dark background. In fact, I don't like that image. Let's use the other one. Let's use the one I used before, that one. Okay, that's fine. So we've got our image in the background there. You can see our services icon on top of it, but they don't stand out very well. And that image is a little bit blurry, but that's where our color comes in. because we put this black in the color section. If we go to our image and just go down a little bit, I'm going to hit the blend and I'm simply going to go to multiply and it's going to go black. And you might say, well, why didn't you just use the color then if it's going to go black? Well, let's go to our color, click on the color and use the right hand slider to make it opaque or pull the opacity down, so you'll see the image start to bleed through. When there's enough of it for you, just let it go. So there we have it. We've got a slight image in the back, but it's nice and dark background for our icons and that to stand out when I make them white. Let's just save that. Let's go back to our carousel now and change colors on our services section here. So we'll go into the services that we've just created, to design, and let's go down. Let's have a look, see. Image styles, well, we don't really need to do anything to that. That's the image at the moment. We're using an icon. You can have it top, bottom, left, right, or inside the content if you prefer. I'm going to leave mine just where it is. Don't need a filter. Icon settings, let's have a look at our icon settings. Well, I do want to make that white. I don't want to circle the icon. If you click that, it'll put a circle behind the icon. It's kind of hard to see. Let's make the circle color so you can see it. There we go. Which is kind of striking, but for me today, I really don't want that. I just want it to be a nice white icon just like that. That's fine. Let's go down to our title text, which you can't really see at the moment. Let's make our title text white. There we go. Let's bring it into the middle, centrally align it. Perfect. Do I want to bring it up in size any? Perhaps a little bit. And perhaps make it semi-bold or something like that. Text font weight. There we go, that stands out nicely. Let's move on down to our subtitle text and do pretty much the same thing. We want it to be in the center. I want it to be white. I don't think I'll change that at all. I think I'll leave that just like it is. Maybe just slightly bring it up so it's almost the same width as the other, but our next icons are going to be different words underneath, so that's not going to mean too much. Okay, well, let's go ahead on down, and I want to add a button because you want this to perhaps take them to your service page or wherever it is you want each of these icons and links to take people. So let's go and add a button. I want to add custom styles for our button. At the moment you can't see it because I've not put a link in or anything like that. So let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, so we want to add our button. So let's go back to our content, down to button settings, and to make it appear, all we have to do is put a bit of text in, learn more. And we have to put a link in there. If you've not got a link in there, the button won't appear down here. I'm just going to put a hashtag at the moment because I haven't got anywhere that I really want it to go. But that, to all intents and purposes, will be a link. So as you can see, the button has appeared there. But it's not exactly what I want. I do want it kind of white. I want it smaller than that, perhaps the same width as this. And don't want that background change, and I don't want the icon. So let's go back to our design and style our button how we want it. The button. Click the use custom styles for button. I've already got that clicked. Text size, I want to make that a bit smaller. It's a bit too big at the moment, so let's start making it how big we want it. Something like that. Okay. Bottom custom text color. Text color is okay. Background color is fine too. Border width, a little bit wide for me. I'm going to take that to about 1 or 2 pixels and see what happens. Whoops, that's way too big. Something like that. 2 pixels. That's a bit better for me. And the border color, I think I gave it this green. It just gives it that little change of color there from our white. I think that looks quite striking. Obviously you want to do exactly what you want to do. Border radius, I'm going to leave it as is. I don't want to make it round. When I hover, I'm not really interested in having that icon there. So let's go down a little bit. Font weight's fine. show button custom icon. Let's have a look down here. Yes, I only want to show the icon on. Well, in fact, I don't want an icon. Let's put the button in the middle. I really want to get rid of that icon. Let's have a look, see. Say no. There we go, that's better. And actually there's a slight grey background there. I don't mind that, that's absolutely fine. It just gives you a bit of a change. I could actually make that green on hover. Let's try that. Okay, we've got a custom border, button custom background color. If we go over with Divi, if you hover on that button custom or any of the names above the legend, you'll get some icons pop up. If I go off of it and go back onto it, see the icons? Hit the arrow, gives you a desktop or a regular state, and it also gives you a hover. So when your mouse is hovering over whatever it is you're trying to affect, you can have a different effect. So let's put that green background color in there when we hover. Right, let's save that. And now we're back in our actual carousel settings, not the actual item that we've just created. Let's go to design. I want to put a bit of space between the services and the icon. I just want to pop it down a little bit. So let's go down. We're on a design tab and we want to go to custom spacing. Let's go down to our content. Here's our content container, and I want to put a bit of padding on the top. So let's go 30 pixels. There we go. As you can see, it's pushed it down by 30 pixels. That might be a bit much. Let's make it 20. Alright, well, I'm fairly happy with that. Let's just save that. Now what we want to do is we want to duplicate it so it goes across, and I also want to make this full screen. So to do that, I need to make our row full width. So let's go into the row. Go into design, let's go to sizing, width, slide that all the way up to 100%, and max width, just type in 100%. There we go, and you've got a full width section there. As you can see, that's floated off to the right. So that's all we need to do with that row. Now I need to decide how many of these I actually want to display in our row here. I'm saying I'm going to go for 6, I think. So I've got to duplicate this 6 times. So let's do that first. Go back into our module. And if we look down, content, you can choose how many on a desktop. We're using a desktop here. So I'm going to say 6. And on a tablet 3, and mobile that's 1, so it'll just show one of these on a mobile, and it'll scroll around and just flip one at a time. On a tablet it'll show 3 of them and scroll around. On our desktop it'll show 6 of them, but for it to show 6 I need to make 6 of them. So let's save this. In fact, I don't need to save that yet. Let's just duplicate our module. Hit the 2 little squares here for however many you want to do. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's 6 of them there. Of course, we want to change this out and change out our wording. I'll do that in a little while. But that's got it where we want it. Let's go to our transition duration. Well, I want it, that's half a second. I want these to pause a little bit longer than that, so I'm going to make it 1500, which is a second and a half, 1500 milliseconds, as you can see, milliseconds right there. I want to have a center slide, which means there'll always be one right in the middle of the screen. I want it to loop, so it keeps going round and round. I want it to autoplay. I want it to pause on hover. I'm not going to use a scroller effect, don't need it. I'm going to leave the autoplay delay set where it is because I want it to start as soon as it can. Arrow navigation, I'm going to have that, but I'm going to have that on the outside, and I'm going to customize the way that looks a little bit in the meantime. If your content here has more words on one than another, so if that had 2 lines here, it would be longer, and so the button would be further down. If you want all of these to be exactly the same height, it doesn't matter for us because they are going to be anyway at the moment. You can check that equal height box there and it'll make sure they're all the same height for you. Vertical line, I want it to be at the top. Lazy loading, I'm not going to bother with that. It's fast enough internet speed nowadays not to worry about that. Advanced slider settings, this is what we're going to do because we want to change this from just a static sort of straight revolving thing to something that looks like it's got a bit of depth. And this is where this plugin excels, the Divi Carousel plugin. We'll change this from default to what they call cover flow. And as you can see, it sort of skews all these little things right here, puts a dark shadow on the inside and a bit of light on the outside, but I really don't want that for this particular one. When I had background items, that looked great, but for our particular thing today, it doesn't really work for me. So I'm going to turn the actual shadow off. So it's just turning our little icon modules. Okay, now that looks a bit strange. Let's just move this down. Let's play with our rotate and get it where we actually want it. I might have to change this in a minute because I'm going to change some of the... So I want the outer ones to be pretty much rotated like this, and get less rotated as we go into our center one here, which is here. So I think that's going to pretty much do, but I've got to make a few changes here, so I may have to adjust that rotation. First thing I want to do is I want a bit of padding right and left so that I can put these arrows on the outside, but we can still see our outer icons there. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to design. We're still in the main carousel settings. We're not in our items that we created, which is in the main carousel. So we'll go to design. Let's go down to custom spacing. Okay, the carousel container, which is the whole thing that contains our carousel, that's what I'm going to add some padding to. So let's put 100 pixels left. As you can see, that's pushed that in, and we still got that arrow on the outside there. That's fine. And I want the same thing on the right. Could have just hit that little check link icon there. That would have put the second one in for me. That's what I want, exactly right there. So do I want to skew these anymore now we've done that? Let's go back. Go down to our advanced slider settings and see if I want to rotate this any more or less. Something like that. I want it to be pretty rotated. Yeah. Well, if we actually have that turning around the other way, no, I don't think that's going to work. Let's keep it like that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that just like that, so it's more turn, less, central. That's fine. Great. Well, we're getting there. So let's go back to our design. Image border, don't need any of that. Title text, we've taken care of that. Next and previous buttons, I want to take away that background. Doesn't matter about where they are at the moment because they're pretty much where I wanted them. If you'd have done it inside, you could have changed these to put them on the outside or the top or the bottom if you'd preferred, but they're exactly where I want them. I want them only to be seen on hover, but I won't check that until I've actually changed the styling. Font size and everything's fine. Let's go to our color settings, and I want to get rid of that background, so I'm going to make that arrow color white so it'll disappear on that white background there, and the background color I want to be transparent. There we go. And if we slide back up a bit, now I want to check that little box. I only want those to be visible on hover. There we go. They just come in on hover there. In my original one, I had dot navigation here. Okay, let's go back to our content, down to our slider settings, and let's put our dot navigation in there. If we go down and down and down, there we go. Under arrow navigation, you've got dot navigation. So if I select that, puts in those little dots there, one for each icon. Now I need to customize that. I want the dot to be green, or the active dot, so let's go down. Color settings, dots color, active dot color, and make that green. And then what I need to do is add a bit of padding, because I need to push this down a little bit. It's too close to the button now. I don't want that. So let's go to custom spacing. I'll just close that up. Custom spacing. And this was the content right there. So if I put a margin on the bottom, content, margin, content container margin, I want to put margin on the bottom. Let's try 50. That might be too much. 50 pixels. No, I think that's actually alright. Let's push it down 50 pixels right there. And what I want to do now is add a little title to the top of this. So let's save this. I'm going to click the dark circle to add a new module. Simply going to use a text module. There we go. And I'm going to put something in here. It's very simple, something like technical solutions. You can see it over here. I want it central, I want it white, probably want it capitalized, and I want it on top. So let's get that done. Go to our design tab, text. Let's capitalize it. I want to make it white. There we go. Slide it over to the middle. Zoom. I want to make it a bit bigger. It's a text size. Let's bring it up in size. Something like that. And let's space those letters out a little bit. There we go, something like that. Save that. Let's move it up to where we actually want it. There we go, and it's above our slider where I want it. That's fine. I'm going to go in now. I'm going to edit each of these. All I'm going to do is change the icon and perhaps a couple of these words here. I'll pause this while I'm doing that. No point you watching me do this. I guess I'll do the first one and then I'll pause it. So let's go into our module. Let's go into our second services. And find a new icon for it. There's a little hard drive icon, that'll do fine. That's done that one. And I'm going to save that. Of course, you're going to want to change your button link to match wherever it is you want to send them. Put your URL in there for where you want them. Take them to a page with your backup details or something like that. Okay, so let's save that. I'm going to pause the video and get the rest of them done. Okay, well, I've changed all the icons and names and things of these other ones here. So let's see what we've actually got. So I'm going to check the save. I'm going to save the page changes. Once saved, let's exit the visual builder and our carousel will start. There you have it. There's a nice full width icon carousel. That's pretty striking and draws your eye to it. People can click on these buttons. It's going to pause when they hover over it like this, so they can click on the button. Obviously you want these buttons to take them to the support page, data page, or wherever you happen to want to take your customers to. Let's make sure our arrows are going to work. That's fine. Let's make sure our .nav is going to work. Yep, fantastic. So there you have it. There's how to create an icon carousel with the Divi Carousel module. Really is a great little tool. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, share, comment and subscribe to the channel. Your comments really do help me to decide what videos to make more of, so please keep them coming. If you're interested in web development, take a look down below. We've got some great free courses down there, as well as some premium courses with some huge discounts for our YouTube subscribers. So do check it out. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.